What's in the box, man? What's in the box? It's a 7 quote. If you don't know it, slap it in there for you. But once again, picked up another shipment from CBCS. Came in the mail. And this is going to be my 3rd shipment from them. 3rd time using the company's services, which have been excellent every time. No complaints really. Except, you know, I wish all my books were 9.8, but let's be honest, that's not going to happen. They're professionals. I'm not. They know what they're looking at. I don't. I just get stuff graded because I like the way it looks. And that's another thing. I'm not your typical collector. Usually when someone like sends off books to get graded, they're probably going to be sending them off because they think they're going to be like really worth a lot of money or valuable, or it's an investment thing. A lot of times I'm sending off books that are just pretty much garbage to your average collector. Books that I probably paid like $1 or $2 for at a local convention. Yeah, I really collect most of my stuff just for covers nowadays. But anyways, without further ado, you know, the box wants to open up on its own as it is. Let's go and get in here and let me talk about what I got. Of course, I already know all the grades because, you know, the day that they notified me and said the stuff was in the mail, on its way to me, I also, you know, got to look at the grader's notes and see what all the grades were. And so, yeah, there's no really big surprises in here for me, but for y'all, what's in the box, man? What's in the box? And always, as I always highly recommend when you're getting ready to open up your graded books from CBCS, a little tasty beverage goes along well. So without further ado, yeah, we don't need this. We need to know who I am or what I paid to get this shit graded. Right off the bat, we've got a copy of Predator #1, which the Predator and Aliens books are something that I always go after at cons. I'm a very big fan. Those are my favorite movies, even though some of them are god-awful. I just love the whole concept of both the characters, the alien, xenomorph, and the Predator. And Dark Horse, they were the first ones to go ahead and mash those 2 characters together. And yeah, it's pretty fucking cool storyline. The movies haven't executed it so well, but hopefully in the future they'll get it right. And this book in particular is usually somewhat rare at conventions. It's been starting to pick up a little bit of heat lately because of the announcement of the remake of Arnold Schwarzenegger's, you know, first Predator movie, which hopefully will be good, which, you know, the whole market's controlled by movies nowadays, so that's that. But anyways, nice copy of Predator #1, 9.0. I'm always happy with anything that's graded 9.0 or higher. The next book in the box is G.I. Joe #224. Great Lakes Con exclusive, signed by the artist Michael Zeck. I had absolutely no intentions on picking up this book at the SC Comic Con, which was where I picked it up at. I was just shopping around the con and I seen someone with the art of a cover that's a very favorite cover of mine, signed by the artist Michael Zeck, and I asked him where they got it at because I had no idea he was there at the con at the time. So I ran over to his booth and he had this for sale, and of course I went ahead and picked it up. He got it signed by him and graded, and it came back 9.8, which is always awesome. Snake Eyes being my second favorite character of G.I. Joe. First favorite character of all time being Storm Shadow. G.I. Joe is really special for me. It's really the origin and beginning of collecting comic books for me since I was a kid. It was the first books that I started to pick up and read at the newsstands. So that's an awesome addition. Next we have Usagi Yojimbo, which is fucking badass. I mean, yeah, Samurai Rabbits. You can't argue with that. You really can't. Let me drink my beer. Usagi Yojimbo #1. It's his first series. 9.4. Graded. It's not his first appearance. I think he first appeared in one of the Ninja Turtle books. I have to be honest, never been like an avid collector of Usagi Yojimbo or the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles books, but last year at Heroes Con in Charlotte, I was digging through some garbage boxes, which is where you'll always find me. And I saw this for $2, and I couldn't pass it up because it's an awesome fucking cover, and it's really, that's what I collect. I like really cool covers. There's a few books, you know, that I'll go after for, you know, stories that are special to me, but mostly nowadays, I just collect for covers. I don't collect for value anymore. Those days are well beyond me. I'm not trying to make a profit out of this anymore. And this is going to make an awesome addition to the wall of awesome books. Last in this box is somewhat of a disappointment. It's not a disappointment for what it is. Pretty much just G.I. Joe #1. This is where collecting comic books all begins for me. I started collecting G.I. Joe books. I can't remember what issue was out when I first started collecting. It wasn't at #1. I went back and got #1, relatively cheap back then. But this is the beginning of what it was. And this book came back 8.0 with a check mark. And the check mark means that the book appears to be a much better grade than what it actually is. And I picked this up at SC Comic Con like 5 minutes before the con closed, so I just glanced at it quickly and I looked at it and I'm like, oh my god, this book looks fucking amazing. How much do you want for it? $40? Yeah, fuck yeah, here you go. You can have it. And I ran over and I submitted it without really looking at it. And the grader's notes come back that it has rust on the staples. Well, it has rust on one staple, this one down here, which it does. And it has a minor crease on the back down here. Other than that, this book easily would have been a 9.8, other than the staple rust and the one crease on the back. It is what it is. For the reasons I collect, I mean, it's a fucking beautiful copy if you're not looking too closely. And that's that for this box. On to the next box. As Brad Pitt would say, what's in the box? What's in the box? And as we continue on with the... this is a perfect example of what I was talking about. I collect garbage books for cool covers. My absolute favorite character of all time is Wolverine. He's just an absolute fucking madman, fucking berserker. And this book signifies, you know, just it's just awesome in every way. I mean, what more could you ask for? I mean, he's a total berserker. You know, what if Wolverine battled Conan? Which is also just a total fucking, absolute fucking berserker madman. So yeah, this is something special and awesome. It's awesome covers. I probably paid $1 or $2 for this book. And it came back 9.0, which I'm happy with. Anything 9 or higher, and I'm more than happy with. Which, I mean, you know, it probably I paid $2 for the book. It cost me $25 to get it graded, and it's worth every penny to me. Oh shit. Next is somewhat of, it's another minor disappointment. Like I said, that's the reason why CBCS is professional and I'm not, is because they're looking at more than just the cover. When I grab a book out of a box and I look at it, like most people, right away I go to the spine, look to see if there's any stress wear, any spine breaks, and other than that, I don't really look at much. I especially don't take the book out of the bag and look at the back of it. At first glance, this book looked like it could easily been a 9.6, 9.8. Let me go ahead and say, like before that, it's Dark Horse Presents number 24, which is the first appearance of aliens in the comic books, which all the other Dark Horse Presents books with aliens and Predator I own multiple copies of. This book, for some reason, it's eluded me, but I finally picked it up at SC Comic Con, and the vendor had 3 copies, of which I thought I picked the best copy, which I might have. But the grader's notes on this were, it had a stain, which I don't see, and a crease on the back somewhere, which I'm sure is there because they grade these books with magnifying glasses underneath a black light. So I mean, whenever you get these books back and you get them graded, I mean, you're really, someone else is doing work that you're not doing, that's for sure. So you can't really be upset with the grades too much. I mean, just because you didn't see it doesn't mean it's not there. So nonetheless, I now own two books with the elusive rare check mark stating that the book looks much, much better than the grade it was given. So either way, it'll make a nice addition on the wall of great books. Next we have one of my all-time favorite covers of all time, with my favorite character of all time, Wolverine versus Captain America. Captain America Annual number 8, 1986. Signed by the cover artist, Michael Zeck, at the SC Comic Con. Came back with, you know, an okay grade. Of course, I always hope for 9 or better, but it came back with 8.0. And I have to be honest, I own, including this, I own 3 copies of this book, and for every time I've seen a lot of these at conventions, and they're never in really good condition. I don't know if it's something about these annual books. They're a thicker book. Plus it's a black cover. That doesn't help. Black covers, they look cool as shit, but at the same time they always show defects appear on these covers much more easily. You'll see spine breaks and creases and whatnot. Fingerprints are really big on black covers. Anyways, it's another fancy fucking yellow label signed by the artist. So this is really happy with this. I only paid $20 for this book, so yeah, I can't complain. Beer, delicious. Beer and comics. It's not much more, but it's better. Well, I could name something else, but I'm going to keep this video PG-13. And last, but definitely not least, this here is a spoof on the first appearance of my favorite character of all time, Wolverine, which first appeared in Incredible Hulk 181. The incredulous Trump, and now the Hillarine. And the winner must face the Burn-to-Go. Oh, poor Burn-to-Go. Where aren't you, Burn-to-Go? This book just might be the fucking gem in my collection right now. I'm so happy that this book came back with a grade of 9.8. It's actually an adult coloring book. It has two covers. The other cover is Captain America Civil War spoof. But I asked that they put this cover on the front for obvious reasons. It's fucking awesome. I could give two shits about politics. I don't have a side. I really don't. I know people like to criticize me when I say I don't, but it's the truth. I don't. It's irrelevant. Needless to say, this book is hilarious, and it just might be the gem of my collection. And I've got some nice books in my collection. I mean, nothing spectacular, but I've got some nice fucking books in my collection. And this just might trump them all, pun intended. And that's gonna be it.